on page Tough Pay Zion. Let me bring my camera down a little bit more. We read through this yesterday. I'm not going to go into the note at the bottom. The first one, these are all talking about getting up at Chatzos, or what's the situation in regards actually to Birchas HaShachar. So we heard earlier that Birchas HaShachar is a big deal, actually, to be able to say it at that time, because it affects a tikkun in the upper worlds. And as results, I guess, in the Gar, or what you would say the Gar, or maybe all the way up, I don't know. And let's see what the first one is, and we'll just read through this, and we'll try to finish it up today. Haner b'chatzos ve'ein b'datu l'shuv lishon. So I'm not really sure what the difference is between all of these different things. So we read this yesterday. We'll read it again, though. B'ofen zecher b'daset poskim, and we see this in the Or Chaim over Zecher Maskamas, and there's an agreement over there. The Yochel Devar V'Kol HaBrachos Gavar Mechatzas Alayla Milvad Berchos Hanos and the Sachvi. So that's what they say over there. Shadas and Mechaber Sham over there. Shalo Yuvarech Osecha V'Kodim She Yoir Hayom. You shan't say it. It's not daytime, so you don't say that. But then, on the other hand, there's not total agreement there. You can say from Chatzos, once you hit Chatzos, you can say. That's really the thinking of the Mekubalim, which seems like if we're poskening like the Mekubalim, then that's what we could say. You could say whatever you want there. Excuse me, you don't hold back. But in any case, over here, if you're waking up, you went to sleep, because if we lived in England this time of year, I think it probably gets dark around, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It gets really dark early. See, the whole night there, somebody could go to sleep. Then you wake up in the middle of the night. What do? So maybe in fact, I was trying to say that maybe in fact you would wake up before Chatzos. So he said, Milvad Birchas HaTorah says, Sheyachol Levora Kavar Kodem Chatzos. So those you could say before Chatzos. Now, I believe we saw, or we're going to see, that there are those who say that you shouldn't say it before Chatzos. At any rate, and, this Mekubal I was talking to, it turns out there's a few people interested in Kabbalah here. Been a long time that's, I've been here, but this other fellow says that definitely... I forgot what he said, but at any rate, we have difference of opinion. He holds by the Sulam. The Sulam doesn't, at least as far as his learning is concerned, not dealing with Hakavanot. So here, a mission. You know that already?
I know, yes, but yeah.
Okay. So Haner Mishinaza B'Chatzos V'Dato L'Shuv Lishon. So a person gets up at midtime and he's going to go to sleep again. So in this case, you're going to go back to sleep. He says you could say all the brachos, all of them. Everybody agrees. Then he adds on bilvad, birchos halukai neshama. Why? Because that's like, when you get up, shenechlechu b'zechadeo, so that people have different opinions. The Dase Pri Chodesh, he says, Lo Yivarech Osecha V'Hevi Dekain is a Rambam. He says also in the Rambam, but Uvekesef Mishnah also. Shabirchos said Bracha Zu Yesh Devarech Davka B'Sof Shinaso. So that you should only say at the end of your sleep. In other words, when you get up, I guess he means this is for a person who's going to go back to sleep. So he says, Yesh Devarach Davka B'Sof Shinaso, the Lo calls the man Shiyaketz, Shrikat, so not the whole time that he's up, Be'ezer B'Shah Shetihi, whatever time this is, of Devarov, Nekto Od Poskin, there are other people, the Mogen Avraham, and Sifkot Ches, and so on and so forth, Derech Chaim. So all those agree. Okay. So we see like this, he says, Salmi, was it Al Shalmi Sibor? The Rambach of the Shitas, the call Brachos Shachar, Al Hanos Atmo Humevarach. What does that mean? The person is buzzing for himself. What does it mean? So if he doesn't have to say any one of them, in other words, when you put on your shoes, so you have a bracha for that. And like that, then the Shulchan Aruch goes along with the Rambam. The Vizech b'Shayich Shafir Lomad the Birchos Elokai Neshamet Sarek Lahamtin Ad Sof Shinasa. So then that one that goes along with that idea. You have to wait. So according to those who argue, and the psak would be like, I guess, the Ramah who goes along with them. The bein is chayiv, the bein not is chayiv bevarach. Whether you have to say, Asher Yatzar, or what would be the other one you're putting on your shoes, whatever they would be, it doesn't matter. Kevin shal siduru shel olam an hakaso chayiv levarach, because that's the way that's the order of how things should be. So we already decided that's what you should do. So when he says anan, I'm not sure who's writing this. I'm assuming it's the tiv. So the pasuk deyazum became kasva mekubalim zal. Im came misha kam b'chatzas alayla. So therefore, a person got up at midnight time. A yochel lomer kol seder brachos. So you can say all the later brothers af birchas alokai neshama, even that one. So this is a generally speaking, there's two sides of this argument. Whether you say everything, you don't say everything. Whether you say some things and don't say others. Let's see some more. Even if the person is going to go back and sleep again, which means he'll wake up again. So he said, they also said they got up and they said all of the brachos. The Hakam b'chatzos b'vara kol brachos kulim min al natilas yadayim ad sof birchos haTorah. So he had to say everything. B'shem the malchus, just like that. V'chafilu im dato lachso v'lishon od. Even if the person is thinking he's going to go back to sleep again. So he said, "V'hine la'acha sheberach habrachos b'chatzos v'shakov elishon." Then he lies down and goes to sleep. Azayka shekam b'boker. What happens then? Ein sark levarach shuv as a brachos. You don't have to say the brachos again. Now that's according to Mishnah Berurah. He says, "Michu legabe birchos haTorah masik Mishnah Berurah." Then the psak, I guess, is the Mishnah Berurah is the Hamavarot lo hipsid, that if you make the brachos, you're not losing anything. It's not hurting. Those two, well, particularly a Mavir Shena, he said, are both, I guess. Yesh bezecha b'deos bein aposkim im choyzer b'varachos. If you have to go back and do it again, so he says, look at the Birach Halacha over there in the Mishnah Berurah. He says, Divir Maskil Amashkim. Massive Birach Halacha, Beber Halacha, so it comes like this. The psak over there is the Safek Brachos, the Hakel, Bein achoyzer nevarach. There seems to be a theme here. V'chein nekta the Kafachayim, same idea. So that's, again, I'm not sure what the psak is between the two differences. It seems like there's a side that says you can say all the brachos, and a side that says you can say all of them, or maybe not all of them, maybe some of them, and then others. The Rambam seems to hold that you have to, if you're going to go back to sleep again, then you're going to have to wait until you wake up in the final time. Then he says, a neir kol alayla. How about a person who's up all night long? The chida devayir eze brachos yochel levarach. So first we'll say what brachos he could say. He's up at night. V'ina inyan berchos al natilas yadayim asher yadza nechlev ha'poskin. A masaka Mishnah Berurah. So what's the psak over there? The asech of tzarkov o yitol mayim v'shavshe v'yeshavshe. So in other words, a person should go to a bathroom, wash his hand and go to the bathroom. Az the kuli al yochel levarach. Everybody agrees levarach. I was always wondered about that Rebbe Zweig's yeshiva, that when at Shavuos, they always waited for someone who had slept to come and make the brachos. So it seems like a different mahalach, because the Mishnah Berurah says that, if you go to the bathroom, you go wash your hands, or you like that. So I'm not sure what the reasoning is, or it's the minhag or what. For the Indian Birchus Torah, so if we talk about the Indian Birchus Torah, Nami Poligi Belzecha Beposkin, there's also an argument over here with the Poskin. Maska Mishnah Baruch, so the Mishnah Baruch is Mopsik. What's the right word? Mopsik? He said, anyway, he's Paskins. He says, the Suffolk Brachos Lachaka V'lo Yivarach. Ele Yivakesh Ma'achar Sheyotzio. So that's the idea, I guess that's the idea of the yeshiva. Get someone else to make the bracha who's chayiv in it, you and Sham. So who was that? That was the Mishnah Berurah. Oh, that's interesting because I didn't think it was like that. V'gam the Indian birchas ha'elokai neshambach b'birchas ha'amavir sheina peliga poskin also. So you're up, you didn't go to sleep. Gam b'zecha v'masek Mishnah Berurah dev'yavakesh ma'ach sheyotzio. So here it is again. Ulam Shaar kol brachos yochel levarach, but everything else besides that bracha, the on Natilas Yadayim, and a Sher Yatzer, I get, well, maybe a Sher Yatzer, I'm not sure, Nilas Yadayim anyway. He says you could get somebody else to, so he says yochel levarach ulam das Rizal, but the Rizal holds like this in Shaar Hakavanot and Daf Aleph Amud Gimel. He says yochel levarach kol brachos kulam. This is what he says. He says chutz b'birchos al Natilas Yadayim. Unless you actually need them, or you're going to use, you go to the bathroom. So in regards of what time can you say these brachos, he said, whether you have to say when do you need to have to say it? You have to say it all after Achal Shachar, or you're up, you're going to stay up all night long, and you're going to hit Achal Shachar too. Das RASHASH the Yivarach is called a brachos shebirchos shachar takef acharat tzos alayla. So that's the time to do it. As soon as you can say get chatzos alayla, because he's talking about the yichud that's going to take place at that time. It's going to be a very high level yichud. We don't have really the background. Well, we do have some black. We know that we're talking about Leah and Yaakov, because that's the yichud that's taking place at that time. I don't know if that's a higher level yichud because he seemed to be saying that previously, or exactly how we understand this. Leah is in a higher level, or she does start out higher. But Birchos HaTorah, in that case, according to that thinking, that's according to Ben Ish Chai, Sham, and the Kaf HaChaim also hold like that you have to hold off on the Birchos HaShachar then. But the Das of the post game, Yesh La'ayim Me'emisai Yachol Levarach Osam. So is exactly when could you say Birchos Torah? So he says v'nistafek bezecha haschala de David, hatehila de David, simon dawa, etc. U'v'sefer chesed alafim, Rebbe Lozer Pavo, I don't know. Concept the nachluchu b'poskin v'chumakopolim. That's actually a difference of opinion on this. V'ledas poskim lo yivarach as a brachos ad she'alachos shachar. So then it seems like that's the way you should do that. V'chein kasev b'sidach Rab Melody. There's a Rab Melody. That's the Alter Rebbe, no? Melody. So he could say it. Now there's a little note down here, number Gimel. He says, "Because of Sham Dekanda that says they call the Deo." So there's a. What can we do? He says, "So this is what he says you should do. You're coming. Let's say you just got up, and now you're going to say Birchos HaShachar. Shikav b'kol yom be'ez shemavarach birchos hashachar. So now you're coming. She'ein rotza liftor ela ad chatzos alayla. That you're only gonna. This is only gonna last these brachos until you get to midnight. V'oz yuchol levarach kavar b'chatzos es kol brachos. Then you could say all the brachos because there wouldn't be no hangover from what you did previously. Levarach b'chatzos es kol brachos v'af birchos haTorah, even birchos haTorah afilu im lo yashan, even if you didn't sleep. So is he saying that birchos haTorah has to do with whether or not you sleep or not, whether or not you slept? Al derek shemevarach b'boker k'shelo yashan. So just the same way you do it in the morning, at nighttime. if he didn't sleep, as if he didn't sleep, or the case where he didn't sleep. דבגילוי דעתה שיגל דעתה ובבירו שיחוסיו פעם אחת שכך רוצה לנהוג סגי, because that's the way he wanted to do it. ואין צורך לכוון בכל יום, you don't have to have that then, עד כאן לשון וצורך אין לדינה, exactly what that's all about over there. Okay, so here's the last one, and so I guess after this we're going to be returning to the Shaar Hakavanot itself. He says, Neir ad achar chatzos v'data lishkov lishon. So he stays up. It is now 1 o'clock in the morning, let's say relatively speaking, or 12:30 or whatever. And his thinking is he's going to go back to sleep. In this case, Kavarat is bar the das of RASHASH, the Yavarach is called a brachos, take up bechatzos alayla. Doesn't matter. RASHASH wants to see that you're going to say the brachos. He said, V'kach masif kaf chaim, the mishalo yashin cloud, didn't sleep at all. Now you see that it's now 1 o'clock. V'hu lomed b'techidas alayla, v'higia chatzos. The person been learning all night long. Now chatzos came. Bevara called a brachos kulam. Say all the brachos. Chutz bebirchos haTorah. Now, once again, we got this idea again because he's been learning all night long. Let's see how it goes. So chutz bebirchos haTorah she'anu mevarach ad achar alus amud shachar. So those we say after the morning comes up. For chutz bebirchos al netilas yadayim. Also, you leave that one out. She'ena mevara klal mifnei shelo nischayev bas, and you don't have to do it. You don't make the bracha. Michol birchos asher yatzar nagu l'chayev atzman kedei l'smoch birchos asher yatzar the birchos alokai neshama. So you want to put those two together. So, but the ben yishchai cause of the ledas rebbeinu RASHASH zal. Doesn't matter. Mikol makom kevin shadata lishon achar chatzos. Minhagam shelo levarach birchos hashachar. So then there's a minhag not to say it. Elarak la'achar sheyakov mechashena, only after you're going to wake up the next time. So the das poskim asayvrcha da'av b'neir kol kalayla ein lo levarach birchos hashachar ad aboker. Im came kol shechein HaShochev lishon la'achar chatzos, that a person that lays down to go to sleep after chatzos, yivarach es habrachos rak la'achar sheyakov mishinah, so only when a person gets up from the last sleep. So I'm really a little confused about that. This is a person that stayed up all the night long. I thought that we had already psak that you should say all the brachos, and I don't know. Okay, well that's the end of that. And tomorrow we'll come back and we'll start working on the Shaar Hakavanot again. So we have a little bit of time, and we're at the end of the Sifrei Tzniut as well. Let me stop this